How do you find your drawing style? Hello everyone, and welcome back to my third video essay. I asked all of my viewers on the community tab what they would like me to talk about, and everyone had such great ideas. So today I'll be discussing how I found my drawing style and any suggestions I may have to help you find yours. I'm not a professional, this is just me as a peer sharing what I've learned along my journey in hopes that you may feel encouraged and motivated to pick up the pencil and hone in your craft. Before we begin, I'd like to mention this video's sponsor, Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint is a digital art software. It can be used for digital illustrations, comics, concept art, graphic design, animation, and so much more. I really love Clip Studio Paint for how easy it is to learn, and I have an appreciation for the professional quality. One specific thing I like are the decoration brushes, which allow you to do like several pre-made patterns efficiently versus drawing each detail by hand, like chains, zippers, lace. It's like so cool. I love it. If you haven't seen my video about me animating in Clip Studio Paint, I encourage you to check it out because I share in more detail the reasons why I love it so much. Visit the link below to download the free trial of Clip Studio Paint for 3 whole months. To me, that is so worth it because it really gives you time to see if the software is a good fit for you. If you are just starting out or want to learn more about the software, their website is stock full with tutorials, examples, and guides to help you through the process. Thank you to Clip Studio Paint for sponsoring this video, and back to the discussion. Style is what makes your work recognizable among artists. Your style can even be a brand itself. Style is less focused on how well you can draw and more geared towards your artistic preferences, the things that truly express yourself and are personally enjoyable to you. You may be feeling what I have felt before, which is the looming pressure of feeling as if you need to have a style in order to stand out or be successful. And how do you get there? How do you find confidence in what you create? From my experience, I haven't found my style by trying to draw something different from everyone else. Instead, I recognize what inspires me and poured that into my work. Finding your style seems like a challenge, and it's widely discussed on YouTube as well, but it's supposed to be an enjoyable experience, and I think the more pressure you put on yourself, the more art seems like a chore. This is what I've been experiencing. I feel like I was trying to make my sketchbook something that looks professional and comparing it constantly to everyone else's, and as I flipped through the pages, I saw more how boxed in I was because I was really missing the one key element. I found that this comparison I had towards my sketchbook and others stemmed from having the wrong perspective of what makes good art. There was a lack of confidence in my general abilities underneath me trying to draw pretty things that stood out on Instagram and would be considered my style. I believe the process to finding your style will come a lot more naturally after stewarding your art skills by observation. This year, I challenged myself to observe how the human body works, what I like and admire about other artists, and generally observing from life. It's been hard to intentionally relearn the things that I thought I had known already, like where the eyes are placed on the head. The push that got me working on my skills was the exhaustion of feeling as if I couldn't draw the simplest of things however I liked. But after breaking down figures into shapes that could be rotated, drawing in general came more naturally. A dangerous trap I've seen several artists get into, especially on YouTube, is when they write off bad anatomy as part of their style. Embracing the "this is my style" mentality is not the key to becoming a good artist. You really need to put practice in every day drawing things outside of your comfort zone, and I've had a really hard time doing so, but even one doodle a day has been more progress than not drawing something at all. With observing and drawing from real life, the goal is to build up your visual library as much as possible. not to change your style to realism. I know that can be confusing. Eventually, you can really hone in your craft as an artist because it doesn't only improve your skills, but makes you feel more confident that you could draw more than one pose. I know many of us struggle to be confident with our work, but I find that if I put intentionality into improvement, it will have better results than not trying at all. My recommendation is to focus on your drawing skills before choosing to discover your style. I know, what? Because as you get better at drawing, you can begin to exaggerate and push the limits in a way that is enjoyable to you. I would say study from other artists to inspire you, but I also caution because if you are only referencing other drawings, you're only learning that person's perception of reality. My post question is, how can you distort reality when you have no idea how it works? For a while, I excused large eyes as part of my style, without really understanding where the eyes are properly placed on the face. Now, this wasn't me needing to make the eyes smaller, more realistic, but just where they're structurally positioned on the face, so that way I could draw heads at any angle in my style I want. This resulted in each drawing having eyes tossed all around because I had no foundational understanding of how they fit. I used to not enjoy realism, but after observing it and thinking it over more and taking it into practice, I have a much better appreciation for it. Now that I've sort of pushed myself to draw more realistic things, my stylized forms have come a lot more naturally. Drawing eyes in the right place, drawing clothing folds, hands, hair, mouths, lips, these are all areas that I now feel more confident in because I taught myself how to observe how they actually work in real life. If the core is strong, everything to follow will be strong as well. If the drawing can rely on that strong foundational sketch, the rest of the piece won't come as much of a frustration to you. Go on Pinterest, find some photo references and practice. Don't post them, just focus on the observation, just you and your craft. You will get frustrated because it probably isn't a skill that comes naturally to you, but that means the growth is going to be so rewarding because you can feel how much you need it. I've linked below some tutorials I've been using lately to improve my drawing skills, and I encourage everyone to check them out and try out some practices. My point is, finding your style may come a lot more easily once you've taught yourself how to draw and observe from life. Along the way, you may start to discover your preferences. Your personal preferences make up your style. It's not an excuse to say you only draw one way, but it's the little touches that give your art a unique essence. Many of you asked how I found my style, and my answer to that is, I haven't really. My style is just made up of things I prefer. I'm constantly changing how I like things each time, so I'm never limited to the same looks. Now, I'm still a young artist myself and learning along the way, but I choose to let go of having an art style and just let the art express itself, and that's what I enjoy. I think preference comes from observing real life and especially artists who inspire you. So after learning the foundational skills, this is now where your inspirations can take place. Some artists that really inspire me recently are Elaine Babian, Paulina Palacios, ToonZee, Fernanda Diaz, Peach Cosmos, Honest Sugar, Ru Tatan, and Shush. I don't know if I pronounce any of those names right. I'll have their Instagram handles on the screen because I don't know how they would want me to pronounce their art name, whatever, so my apologies. I love Elaine's bold gestures. I love Paulina's simplicity with how she draws faces. I absolutely love ToonZee's color and composition choices. I love the fluidity of Fernanda Diaz's artwork. Peach Cosmos' work really catches my attention because I love their shapes and use of color. Honest Sugar has a really nice line art style that's rough yet clean, which is the look I desire. As well as Ru Tatan, their line art is so subtle yet pulls the whole piece together, and it's rough, which leaves the drawing feeling loose instead of stiff. I think most of these artists have similar things I like in common if I generalized it, and that is rough and bold with a taste of anime. Haha, yes, anime. I will advocate for anime being a professional style because it should be, and it should be seriously studied from the great manga artists in the industry. Tangent, oh well. Why I went into detail about the artists I feel inspired by is to show you how important it is to recognize what exactly it is you admire from other creators. Recognizing what specific things you like can be things to try out in your own work. Coloring, line art, shading, all those things. I don't believe it's stealing a style to take inspiration from their techniques, but I warn you not to let it become the only way you draw because you can subject yourself to the weight of comparison. Not by others on social media necessarily, but if you copy them pretty closely, I'm sure you will receive criticism, but by yourself. Allow yourself to break free from making sure your art looks exactly like theirs. It's gonna hold you back. By combining all of your preferences into a melting pot, you will see just how much of a style you really have. What inspired you in the past may still have an influence on you as well sometimes. When I was younger, I was obsessed with Littlest Pet Shops. I loved drawing their large heads and giant eyes. It always popped out to me, and that was my style for a while. Later on in high school, when I started watching anime, I was inspired to draw characters with more realistic proportions, and draw humans more too. Yes, I grew up drawing furries, but not the weird furries, just animals. Throughout my journey, my preferences really changed by what I liked, and right now, I really enjoy bold K-pop fashion, so that has a lot of influence on my creative choices right now. Eventually, my style may just become a huge mush of what I personally enjoy drawing and feel capable of doing. As a fun test for yourself, try setting a timer while you draw. Say, draw a whole page of doodles in 5 minutes. Sometimes I've noticed that when my mind is empty and I'm not concerned about what I'm drawing or how good it looks, that's where my art style blossoms. Draw every day, period. I'm telling myself this as well. And choose not to draw the same thing every day as well. Draw things that you don't know how to draw and allow yourself to get frustrated. Then, when you try it again, you'll see that it wasn't completely useless to mess up and get frustrated the first time. Because you can go back again and know what to change. That's improvement. This all applies to style, and many artists on YouTube haven't focused on how important it is to relearn and observe reality constantly. Constantly. I have to tell myself this too. I'm a little preachy, yes, but these are all things I'm telling myself as well. I'm not a professional just yet, but I wanted to share with you all that it is about the journey, not the destination. You will always be learning, and there's never going to be that one moment where you've learned everything, have a style, and make all the money in the world off of your art. Art is your craft, and a craft is to be stewarded and constantly modified. It's okay if it changes. It's okay if your style doesn't look the same for the rest of your life. I would personally be drained by that if I confined myself to only drawing this way forever. So, art is meant to be enjoyable for you, and even though people do have a career off of it, I have a career off of it, we can't forget the original passion that makes us enjoy drawing. And some artists motivate people to need a style in order to be successful, and I don't think that's true. I think what you enjoy drawing and what things you enjoy exaggerating are what make your style, and that changing along with you throughout life is like so personal and fascinating. But I also don't want you to forget the foundational understanding of improving your art from observation of real life and how things work and where things are placed, so that it can help you feel more confident when you do draw. And I know a lot of artists, including myself, struggle with being confident. So I'm here to be your cheerleader. Keep going, and even if you don't feel like it, sit down and try. You're never gonna feel like it if you always go by feeling. You just have to sit down, pick up a pencil. Don't care about what it is, who's watching, where you're gonna post it. Just draw for you and re-experience that childlike wonder of creating something from nothing, creating something from your imagination. This is how you interpret reality. This is your perception of reality. This is the message you want to send to the world. And that is so personal and unique, and nobody else can take that away from you, and nobody else can replicate the vision that you have. So I hope that's encouraging. And all right, I guess we'll wrap this up. Thank you everyone for watching this very long video. Follow me on Instagram to receive daily updates on what I am up to and of all of my art. I just started a new sketchbook, so go follow to stay updated on each page I create, because if you haven't seen my last video, I did a sketchbook tour of my last one. So yeah, just if you want to stay updated on what I'm doing all the time when I'm not posting on YouTube, I'll be active there. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters, Jordan, Dandy Quiver, Sahara Lee, Honey Fox Sky, and Prisoner Savior. My patrons had early access to this video along with exclusive posts of what I'm currently working on, including animations, rough animations, concept art, digital art, character design, and so much more. So visit the link on screen to become a Patreon supporter today. I also have the link in the description if you want to check that out as well. Again, big thank you to Clip Studio Paint for sponsoring this video. Link in the description to try out the free trial of Clip Studio Paint for 3 whole months. Just a quick download and you're ready to go. Thank you all so much for supporting. Be sure to like this video so that it gets spread around on the platform and other people can learn and be encouraged and inspired. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for being patient with my uploads. It's a busy season. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year, and let's end this year strong, y'all. I will see you all in the next video. Toodles!